YouTube gurus love to tell you that YouTube is on easy mode, that it has never been easier to grow a YouTube channel. And you know what? They're probably right. But the thing that always bugs me about that is that they are missing out on the key context of what it means to be a small creator. Because it's all well and good for them to sit there and say, small creators, all you need to do is this and that and X and Y and Z. But they have something that we fundamentally lack, and that's resources. And I would argue the biggest resource that we as small creators lack is time. You'll see big YouTubers start secret second channels to prove that it's skill and not luck. But YouTube is their full-time job. They have such a privilege, a luxury to be able to do that. They have teams around them who can do almost all of the things that they need doing for the channel for them. You know, they have people to conceptualize videos for them. They have editors, they have producers, thumbnail artists, like, they have entire teams at their disposal. Whereas we are just us. Most of the time, small creators are just individuals. And what that tends to mean is that because we aren't full-time with YouTube, we are full-time with something that isn't YouTube. I, for example, am a full-time uni student, and I realise that I, in that position, am also very privileged because I don't have a typical 9-to-5 working structure. I'm busy with lectures and practicals and revision and all sorts of stuff like that, but I still feel very fortunate to have more free time than the average working person. There are so many creators who do work 9-to-5s, you know? They're working 8 hours a day, they're commuting an hour there and back. And then all of us have other things that we need to prioritize and take care of. Once again, I have other things than uni that I need to give my attention to. And you know, a lot of those things are choices, but they're choices that will better my overall life. For example, I go to the gym 4 times a week, and yes, that is something that I choose to do, but it has a lot of benefits for my mental and physical health, and so not doing that is quite detrimental to me. I'm in a long-term relationship. Those take time and effort to maintain. That's not a bad thing. It just means that there's another factor, another thing in my life that I need to give my time to before YouTube. And again, I realise I'm on the fortunate side of things. There are people with so many more responsibilities and things that need their time and attention, whereas I don't have that to quite the same extent. So yes, to someone who is creating content full-time, it might seem easy to say to a small creator like us, you just need to do X for 1 hour a day, you need to do Y 5 hours a week. That may seem, those may seem reasonable numbers, but the reality of being a small creator couldn't be any further from that. The reality of being a small creator is waking up at 7 in the morning and recording a video with messy hair, with chapped to hell lips, in pajamas, because I have such a busy week. I have an exam at the end of the week and I have so much I need to do between then and now, but I just needed to get this out of my system. The reality of being a small creator is working a 9-to-5, not having the time in the morning to do anything, and maybe being able to give 15 minutes to this on an evening in between all of the things that go alongside working a 9-to-5. The reality is trying to squeeze maybe an hour out of the weekend between taking your kids out to the park and between doing laundry. The reality of being a small creator is that we don't have the time that we need and so desperately want. So yeah, I guess it just always kind of annoys me when YouTube gurus are so insistent that YouTube is on easy mode, that as long as we do these things which are fairly simple to do, in their words, we're guaranteed success. It's not that easy for most of us. So I thought I would share my thoughts on that, and also give you a little bit of an insight into what the reality of being a small creator is for me. As I mentioned, I'm a full-time uni student, and I have exams coming up, and a lot of the time I will do my uni work according to the Pomodoro technique. That's because most of my uni work is online. It's very rare that I need to be on campus. Obviously, on days that I do need to be on campus, it's a very different story. But when I get to work online, I work according to the Pomodoro method, which, for those unaware, is essentially working for 25 minutes and taking a 5-minute break, and then repeating that on a cycle of so many times before taking a slightly bigger break. So to me, the reality of being a small creator looks like scrambling to get a little bit of scripting done or annotating a bit of a script in those 5-minute breaks. It means recording tiny little segments of voiceover during those 5-minute breaks. It means maybe doing one visual edit during those 5-minute breaks. And you know what? It does build up over time. Over the course of a day, I was able to record the voiceover for an entire video. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that it doesn't, those 5 minutes don't add up. But again, I'm in a more privileged position than most. Most people don't get to do their work from home and take breaks whenever the hell they please. Another way this looks for me is whenever I'm at the gym and I'm taking rests in between sets, I do scripting. Even if it's just 30 seconds to a minute in between sets. That's a good day for me. If I've been able to do both, if I've been able to do 5 minutes of scripting in between Pomodoro cycles, and I've managed to do a few rounds of 30 seconds in between sets at the gym, that's a fantastic day for productivity. And you know, the total time doing that is almost definitely less than an hour. Less than the amount that these YouTube gurus are telling us is like bare minimum standard for growing a YouTube channel on easy mode. Because the reality of being a small creator is not spending hours and hours and hours per day, per week, grinding towards our goals. The reality of being a small creator is having so many goals and finding the small moments in our days where we actually are able to work towards them. So I guess the takeaway from this is, if you are a small creator and you feel like you should be doing more, if the YouTube landscape or what people are telling you makes you feel like you aren't doing enough, just know you are. Because ultimately, enough is subjective, right? And if you're doing what you can with what you've been given, if there are days where you only have tiny amounts of time or no time at all to give to this because you were needed elsewhere, it's okay. You're doing exactly what you need to be doing, and there's no shame in that. Everybody finds a pace that works for them, so don't feel like you need to be keeping up with everybody else. And especially, don't feel like you need to be keeping up with what someone who does this full time is telling you should be doing. And you know, when we do make it full time, let's not forget where we came from. Let's not forget trying to find those tiny little moments in our days where we are able to work on this.